Good morning, everybody. My name is Paul. You can see my channel name is The Picky Prince because I'm very picky about some things. So today, this being my first post, I am just going to call it easy and talk about the things I'm getting rid of, right? There won't be much talk about them. They're pretty much straightforward. Most of them are books, but I do have a computer game in here somewhere. So let's get going. So the first book I'm getting rid of is Dragonquest by Anne McCaffrey, and it has nothing to do with the quality of the book or the author. Just this book is inferior in my collection. It's just subpar. Looks, you can see the spine. I see that spine on my shelf, and I just can't not look at it. It's like but anyways, I'm getting rid of this book. It is actually kind of a tough book to find. I want this cover very specifically, and this is the only time I saw it in the wild was when I bought this book. I was weak and bought a book that wasn't up to snuff, thinking I would read it, and I haven't read it yet. But getting rid of it, I decided I'm going to just order a nice clean one on eBay when the time comes, if I don't have one already from searching in the wild. Next up, I have about 10 doll books. All of these are duplicates, right? You can't see them on the camera. You can see the corner of them a little bit right there. I have about 70 doll books. I've been working on collecting those. I love the yellow spines. The spines have to be nice and crisp. And most of these have crisp spines, but over the times I've bought collections or bought duplicates out in the field because I wasn't quite sure of the quality of the ones I had, I ended up with about 10 duplicates. I'll probably put these on eBay if I'm not too lazy. So first up, number 412, Lucifer Comet. The Lucifer Comet by Ian Wallace. The cover is amazing. It is done by Gino D'Achille. I'll just call him Gino because I don't know how to pronounce his last name. But I have a duplicate of this, and this one is actually in really good condition. The spine's excellent condition. But I already have one that's even better condition, so I'm going to sell this one. Alright, up next, Pendulum by A.E. Van Vogt. I don't know how to pronounce that again, and I can't just call him A.E., so I'll just say Van Vogt. VV. Pendulum. Again, this is I don't know who did this cover. I can't tell by the signature. It's not my favorite cover, but again, excellent condition, excellent spine. Be putting this on eBay in the near future. Next up is number 40, Planet Probability. I have 2 copies of this one. My other copy is signed by Kelly Freas. He's the cover artist. This is one of his better covers in my opinion. He's not my favorite artist in terms of style, but the guy's talented. He did so many books for doll. You can't not collect them. So, Kelly Freas, Planet Probability, very good looking spine. And this will be going on eBay and not a lot with all the other doll books. Next up, book number 360. A Bertram Chandler novel, Broken Cycle. A new John Grimes adventure. This cover is done by Hescox, I believe. He's an amazing artist. I love Hescox. He's up there with Boris Vallejo and Ken Kelly. One of my favorites. Again, I have a duplicate of this. I believe my other one is signed by the author. So I do like collecting signed books. Signed doll books are relatively cheap compared to some of the more expensive books. And I also collect comic books, much cheaper than comic books. So I do like getting signed ones when I can. Excellent book, excellent cover, beautiful spine. Shame to let it go. Next up, Brian M. Stableford, Optiman. Again, I might have 2 copies of this already, 3 copies now. This book is pretty plentiful out there. I don't know who did the cover, but again, beautiful spine, excellent condition. This puppy's going on eBay. Alright, next up, number 130, the Fenris Device. This cover again is done by Kelly Freas. We just talked about him, excellent artist. Not my style, but this is one of my favorite covers. I do love space vehicles on covers. This is an excellent copy. My other copy is actually signed, I believe, by Stableford and Freas. I'll have to look that up one of these days. I'll pull out all my signed copies and go through them. But this will be on eBay with the lot. Catch you later. I'm not leaving. That book will catch you later. A Spaceship for the King. Again, Daw number 42, excellent spine. Kelly Freas did this cover too. I didn't even think about that. I just noticed that looking at the bottom. This one is chewed right here a bit. I didn't notice that when I bought it, but I got it in a lot of excellent books, and this was the only one that was not up to snuff. So, going on eBay with the rest of them. Duplicate of that one. The next 2 books are Prescott books, Dre Prescott, number 12, The Tides of Cregan by Alan Burt Akers. I believe this is a Wheeling cover. Don't feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't look it up before I did this video. But this one's going on eBay. Again, an excellent copy. But I have a slightly better one in my collection now. Dre Prescott, number 11, Armadas of Antares. You know what, I'm going to verify that it's a Wheeling cover. Cover by Michael Whelan. So I bet you he did this whole series of covers on these Prescott books. So again, excellent book, excellent condition. It's hard to part with, but I have a better one and I'll be letting this one go. So see you soon on eBay. I'm not telling people my eBay name, so I'm not trying to sell anything in advance. All right, number 140, The Knot World. This is a George Barr cover, if I'm correct. Again, I got this book in a collection that was signed. And so I'm getting rid of this one. Excellent condition, beautiful cover by George Barr. I didn't really know who George Barr was until I started collecting doll books. And this one's, he's quickly becoming one of my favorite artists. He has a very distinct style, and I really like him. All right, only 3-4 more things to go. Critical Threshold by Brian M. Stapleforth. This is number 230. I don't know who did the cover art on this one. Again, I have duplicates of this one. Excellent condition. This one does have a slide down the spine, which drives me nuts. I can't stand it when I look at the shelf in my eyes, just like on the one that's broken. Nice eBay lot going on. All right, enough of the doll books. I also collect books with Boris Vallejo covers. Well, anything that has a cool cover, I'll typically buy. I'm a pretty slow reader, so I will tend to buy books based on covers and quality. So this next book is called Heroes and Villains, and it's an amazing cover by the Grandmaster Vallejo, by Angela Carter. I believe this, I don't know if this is a collection of short stories or a book. I have not read this. I strictly bought it for the cover. It's an amazing cover. Boris just has an amazing way of drawing humans, and so this one will be probably sold also on eBay. Thank you. My last book, I tried to like this book. I really did. I read a bunch of J.G. Ballard books, not a bunch, I read 2 of them, and so I kind of got interested in the Beatnik generation, and so with some research I learned that Kerouac's book On the Road was kind of considered like the magnum opus, or I don't know what, the best at capturing that generation. And so I read this, and I'll be honest with you, I read about half of it and I gave up on it. Journey books are not really my favorite style of books, and I don't like books that the hero kind of just meanders along. And knowing it was kind of a self story, it was just like, I mean, it's kind of fascinating, like, how do these people live like this? Because that's just not in my nature, to just kind of be a vagabond and going around. But I didn't finish this book. Probably donate it to my local library or our book club, which is where I got it. If you hear my cat, I apologize. Last item, not a book at all, a computer game. I collect SSI games, but I collect a certain size box. When I got this one, I didn't realize the box was the wrong size. And even then, it doesn't quite fit on my shelf where I like my books to look. So I'm getting rid of it. I'll probably put this on eBay and hopefully make my money back, because that's where I bought it. All right, Pay Prints out. Thank you.